Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Fabulous Friday Ramblings. I'm your host with the most, David, aka the Bardic One. And today we're going to do something a little simple, a little nostalgic, because, let's be honest with everything going around the world right now, everything's a little scary, everything's a little stressful. We need something simple and nostalgic. So, we're going to discuss my personal memories of one of the great video game icons, and that is Mario. I know usually I like to do like educational breakdown, history videos, like, oh, this is all the major high points of this. Thing is, one, with Mario, that would be a very in-depth video. B, 1,000 other people on YouTube have done career retrospectives on Mario. You can find multiple reviews for pretty much every Mario game there is. You can find people talking about the trivia of how the character was created. You can find people that will break down every major Mario game. You find people that specialize in the forgotten Mario games. So partly, I want to put a little bit of a different twist on my discussion of Mario games specifically, and that is the ones I have the most fond memories of in both recent years and way back in the past, because that's something you can only get in this video. You cannot get my personal perspective on who is no doubt the longest, most recognized character in the video game industry anywhere else, because these are my memories. This is my nostalgia. And, I certainly encourage anybody else who, while they're listening to this, to join us and, think about your own nostalgic moments with everyone's favorite plumber, turned hero, turned sports star, and a few other things. Party host. A lot of stuff. A lot of Mario games. But yeah, that's my twist. Instead of just a Mario breakdown, we're going to do Mario memories. So, as I said, my memories go back a long time because I am a bit of an old man, and I've been playing video games for basically as long as I can remember. First system we owned in our house was Atari. I remember Pitfall. I remember Pong. I remember Miss Pac-Man. But we did eventually get an NES. And with that came my introduction to the pixelation. There we go. Good angle there. The pixelated plumber who loves his pipes. It's me, Mario! Woohoo! Thank you for watching. Please keep watching. Gotta love visual props, don't you, folks? But yes, we had the NES. We had the Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt combo pack, and I did play both games on that cartridge plenty. It is what it is. It was fun. It was glorious. Super Mario Brothers was, it was a fun game. And it's really hard to describe sometimes to people who, did start playing video games after multiple Mario games had come out. People who started in like the 16-bit era or even late, or God forbid, the 3D era, which we are going to touch on eventually, but it's like there had been platforming games before Mario. But there was something about Mario. The colorful characters. I mean, turtles with wings, mushroom men that, glared at you, or their angry eyebrows. There we go. There's the angry eyebrows. The angry eyebrows. As they march towards you with intent to hurt, and even kill potentially. The pipes that you could just jump down and, you'd see yourself sliding down the pipes into these little special bonus areas. The fireballs, the invincibility star, where you just start flashing colors and nothing could harm you except pits. No enemies could harm you as long as you flashed. It was so much different from anything I had played before. And even later games. A lot of platform games came out after Mario, because Mario just really, it really was game changing. Yes, there had been the original just Mario Brothers game where you're in the sewer. That was an arcade game. I did not play that until after I played Super Mario Brothers. And I never played it in the arcade. I played the home NES port of it. But, Super Mario Brothers was my first exposure, and in a lot of ways that's the game most people think of as the beginning of Mario. Yes, he was the antagonist of Donkey Kong before that. But again, I had played Donkey Kong after I played, as an NES port, after I played Super Mario Brothers. Like a lot of really young gamers, Super Mario Brothers 1 was my first exposure to Mario, and I understood that those games technically came out first, but that's what I think of as the origin point. Because that's when Mario became something everybody played. Donkey Kong, it's like, oh yeah, Donkey Kong's cool, yeah, the big monkey, that's what people thought of as Donkey Kong. That was the name of the game. It was his game. Mario was the hero, but it was all about that gorilla. Or ape. So they usually call him an ape, but you look at the general shape, and it's... I don't know. I'm not a big monkey biologist person. I guess technically apes aren't officially monkeys. Primate biologist. There we go. I'm not a big primate biologist, but that's what I'm saying. It's Donkey Kong's game. He's the title character. But yeah, Mario. It's like you played it and it was, oh my god, this is incredible. It's the first level is not too bad, once you die once or twice and get used to the controls. But there's just so much to it. It's so colorful, and it just... nowadays it's, it's incredibly dated, and, I admit half the time when I play it, I play the Super Mario All-Stars version where the graphics are, a little cleaned up and a little, 16-bit style, but... Because it's a little hard to go back to some of those early 8-bit games after you've been playing a lot of modern games. It's, it takes you a second to adjust and shift your brain, but at the time it looked beautiful. And that's part of why I can shift my brain back and play these retro games and stuff and get that nostalgic feel. Is I remember, it's just everything looks so neat. And they immediately throw variants at you. It's like you get through the first stage, and the second stage, not the second world, the second stage is underground. It's like, there's a whole new style of boards to this. A whole just level sequence. And new things now. Now we've got the little elevator lifts that you got to jump on, but you got to jump off before it gets too high or you die. And the ones that go down, you got to jump off before it gets too low or you die. They're tricky, especially if you're trying to like race through and be quick about it because you're worried about something getting you, and then you got to time your jumps, and it's. And then the Bowser castles, you're like, oh my god, like. It's an evil castle with lava and just like fish jumping out of the lava. And then Bowser at the end. He's like twice the size of Mario. And even super grown-up Mario with the mushroom, he's bigger than Mario. And he spits fireballs at you. Then you go to the next... Then you keep going and you have underwater levels and... Bowser and Hammer Brothers, and then Bowser starts throwing hammers at you too eventually. It's like, oh my god. Like, this game just keeps putting stuff at you, and it just keeps getting more. And it's always got one more thing they can throw at you as you keep progressing through the game. And it was just difficult enough that you would get frustrated because you'd get stuck on a level. But you came back because you were frustrated, but you were not so frustrated you believed the game was impossible. The game was always had that perfect difficulty level where you believed if you just practice this level enough times, you just kept trying this level. You just have to, remember where these certain enemies are. You just gotta, get a little more running speed up before you make this tricky jump. It was difficulty that inspired you to keep going. And I mean, to get that perfect mix of so many elements at a time when people were still really getting a handle on what video games could do and how much you could push this hardware. It's just, there's a reason that again, everybody talks about this game. All these decades later, people still talk about it as one of the most important games in video game history because you really can. I swear to you, I am not the only one. Like, you can ask any video game historian, you can ask any video game journalist, for good or ill, no matter what side of the debate they go on, how much credit they want to give Nintendo, how much they want to try to, paint Nintendo as a bad guy, Because, yes, Nintendo certainly did a lot of borderline monopolistic things for a while there. I'm not going to deny that, but, my God, when they really dedicated themselves to making a great game, nobody could touch them. But that's the thing. For ill or good, you cannot deny that you can measure the history of the video game industry as before Super Mario Brothers and after Super Mario Brothers came out. Like that is one of several just lines that just divides history. It's like, this is where we mark the transition part in video game history. This game. And they kept going. I remember just Super Mario Brothers 2. Now again, I know the internet loves to throw information at us. Oh, it's a reskin of Doki Doki Panic. It's more of kind of like a spin-off Mario game. It's not really a direct sequel to Super Mario Brothers. Bowser isn't even in it. But look, it is a Mario game. Okay, it's a Mario game, it's a Mario game, it's a Mario game. And at the time, I was so excited when my brother got a copy of Super Mario Brothers 2. I mean, it's Mario. It's new Mario. That wasn't something people had a guarantee of. That wasn't something people, could promise themselves they would have. It wasn't an assumption. It's like, oh yeah, it's Nintendo. Give them a few years, they'll come out with another, main Mario platforming game. No, this was when that idea started, and the fact it was so different from Super Mario Brothers because you could choose one of 4 characters. You could play as we just rescued the princess. Now she's one of the heroes. Granted, it was a long, long time before that came up again, but we got back there. Toad, the guy that just annoyed you when you would beat Bowser, or I guess the Bowser impersonators, But either way, you would clear a castle. I'm sorry, Mario. Our princess is in another castle. Well, now he's useful. Now he's cool. He runs faster than anybody. He runs fast and he picks up the vegetables quicker than anybody else. I mean, that's the whole thing. Picking up vegetables. That just... Oh my God, we don't do the fireball power-up. But now, we pull vegetables out of the ground and throw them at people. It's a whole new way to attack. We still got invincibility. But it comes out a little different now. We got kind of a health meter system. It was big. There was a lot they did different. And yes, but part of that was it was a reskin of a different game with a different initial set of characters. But that was one of the glories of it. Is for the fans, we were like, man, you can really push the boundaries of what Mario can do. It's still a platformer game, but it's like Mario can go to different areas. The princess can become one of the good guys. Hell, she was always my go-to character. I liked playing the princess. She had a longer jump than Mario and Toad. She had pretty good running speed. Yeah. She was a good character to play in that game. She was fun. It was interesting. Mario and Luigi, they were established heroes. Anybody could picture them beating the evil overlord Wart and saving the whole kingdom of Subcon, but the princess, she was just a hostage. Having her build up and become the grand hero, that's something that, a little kid, that's just, it's the rise of Princess Toadstool, because she was Toadstool back then. We didn't have Peach as her name yet. That for Americans, that didn't come till N64. That was 2 generations later. Come on. And of course, then we had Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, Super Mario Bros. 3 was more of your Super Mario Bros. Sequel. But again, same system, same processors, same hardware, pushed not even to the next level, 2 levels up from even Super Mario Bros. 2. We went back to just Mario and Luigi. Back to Bowser. But we have the Koopalings. Koopa Kids. We have Boom Boom in the castles as a sub-boss. We have map screens. We have, oh god, we have so many power-ups. It's not just Fireball and Super Mushroom. Invincibility starting more. Now you got Raccoon. You got Frog. You got the Tanuki suit. You got the super rare. I don't even know if you can get it without cheat codes, because Game Genie was the only way I ever unlocked it. Hammer Brothers suit. I think there might have been 1 in the whole game, which is really, you had, again, because you had a map screen, you had multiple paths. You didn't have to beat every level in the world. It varied up your gameplay experience. You know, you had allegedly randomly, eventually figured out the formula for it, but you had the mini game huts where you had to flip the cards and find the pairs to get extra items and coins. And, I mean, I love that game. To this day, I still consider it one of the 5 best Mario games ever made. Main series, main series. We're not getting into the spin-offs, but main series. There's only a couple games that beat Super Mario Bros. 3. Like, it's just every world is different from the previous world. It just established everything that came later. Every Mario game afterwards just takes so much influence from Super Mario Bros. 3. And it's just... I mean, the flight. Mario flew. That was just the raccoon suit. And the Tanuki suit. And the pea suit, where it was like the raccoon suit, but you had infinite flight capability. You could just fly across the whole stage. Only worked once, and it reverted back to regular raccoon, but I mean, it was so everything. Like, the one thing Mario couldn't do. It's like, yeah, now he can fly like a superhero. Mario became a superhero. I didn't own Mario Bros. 3. But I had friends and I had cousins that owned it. God, I still played it plenty. I still had plenty of access to Mario Bros. 3. The warp whistles. Like, God, like you can, if you're cagey and you find the secrets, you can get the warp whistles. And yeah, that's how you skip stages. But you can use them whenever you want. Like, you don't have to... Like, Mario Bros. 1 and 2 had warps, but you can only use them at certain times. Because there were stationary warp pipes you had to find, or warp bottles in the second game, because they didn't have pipes. But it's just, man, that was just everything. You know? Find the warp whistle, save it for later. If you get frustrated on a stage, you just can't beat a particular world. You're trying and you're sick of trying. You want to look at some of the other worlds. Okay, now you can use a warp whistle. Now you got it 4 or 5 levels ago. You got an entire world to go. But you didn't want to use it till now? Fine, don't use it till you feel like it. That's power. That is, I mean, you cannot... I cannot stress how much that just... The first time you experience that in a game like this. I mean, how many other games have done that since? Give you an item that warps you to a completely different world, but it's free to use whenever you want. Like, very few platformers do that. They have stationary standing warps like Mario Brothers 1. It's not... The warp whistle is awesome. It's fun, man. You hear a little doo-doo-doo-doo. The tornado comes by and swoops you up and it drops you in the warp land. I mean, heck, you use the warp whistle, you get a second warp whistle. Use it in the warp world. You can warp even farther. I mean, you can go straight to the final world, Bowser's own little continent of darkness. After playing like 1.5 worlds, I mean, you can skip like 75% of the game. Maybe 2/3. Either way, a lot of the game. Over half the game. You can just blast past it if you want. Just the power of it was just so much fun. So much. Every time you play it, you can play it a little bit different. You know, it was one of the first games that I know of where, I mean, just your average schmuck kid, you know, after you play it several times, you really, you know, you start inventing the challenges everybody does now. It's like, oh, I'm going to play it and I'm not going to use the warp whistle, you know, oh, I'm going to do a no warp whistle run, or I'm going to do a, you know, I'm going to do a no frog suit, you know, or I'm only going to use the classic fire flower star mushroom power-ups. I'm not going to use raccoon. I don't know anybody that actually did that one because flying was fun as hell. But you could. That's the thing. I don't think there was any level in the game where you really had to use any specific power-up. Nowadays, games will do that. They'll introduce a power-up and build the whole level around using the power-up. Obligate you to use it the first couple times, as if they're trying to justify it. But man, back in Super Mario Bros. 3, they just gave you power-ups for the fun of it. They were just like, we're just going to give you power-ups just for variety's sake. Use them, don't use them, we don't care. Play the game how you want to play it. But it's hilarious. I mean, not hilarious. I mean, there is a lot of humor in the game. Seeing all the kings turn into different monsters. It's just, man. And yeah, maybe it was the fact I didn't have the option to play it every day, but it felt like every time I play it, and even nowadays, whenever I boot it up, you know, I've got my ROM copies and all that, you know, digital. But even now, like when I play it, it's just like, it's everything. It just all I can just think about is like playing the game the first time and going like, man, I don't see how video games get better than this. It's like, this is just so much more than I ever expected. Like in my wildest dreams, I did not picture a game just this much fun. Even the levels that whooped your butt were still fun to play. And then when they made Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo, whole new console, whole new game. And you can still see that Mario 3 influence. You have the multiple paths. You don't have literal warp zones, but you have like you can like find or levels with multiple exits, and if you find the alternate exit, you could get to the Star Road, and you beat a handful of Star Road worlds, and you could just like go straight to Bowser's Castle. I mean, there were levels where you could play, worlds where you could play literally half the levels and get credit for beating the world and move on. Like, so much just hidden secrets to it, and Yoshi. Just Yoshi, man. Yoshi! You get a pet dinosaur that you ride, and he eats things, man. Just everybody loves Yoshi. It's like, God, you guys did it again. You made it just, you introduced a new feature that just was everything. It's not just a power-up. It's a friend. It is a partner. Of course, Yoshi would go on to get his own games. He'd go on to become an equal partner in great standing, and then, you know, and then we got the first real spin-offs. You know, Super Nintendo, like, I will seriously debate with anybody on this planet, but like the Super Nintendo, in my mind, is one of the greatest consoles ever created, because it's like every game that came out on it was just great. Like, even the worst Super Nintendo games, Like you still have to play once, just because it's like, oh yeah, this is I don't care if I beat this game. I don't care if I ever play it a second time. But I mean, and I mean they're infamous out there. Lester the Unlikely. Total 80s nerd stereotype nonsense. I've tried playing the game. I can't get past the second level. It's a really weird, awkward game. But the character's so unique, you have to try the game at least once. Even if somebody tells you it's a bad game, it's still a Super Nintendo game. So you're like, yeah, but I mean, it's such a great console. I just can't see an unplayable game on there. And you're like, yeah, this game's not really something I want to play over and over again and beat it, and it's not filling me with pure joy. But I mean, dude, it's so unique. And Mario's at the head of that pack because he had Super Mario World, and then you got Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, which you got to play as Yoshi protecting baby Mario. It's like, well, now, I mean, Mario's in the game, but now he's the one getting rescued all the time. He's in the Princess Toadstool role. And it just... And then we got Mario Kart. And, well, now we have a whole new Mario franchise. Because, oh my God. Super Mario Kart was, at that time, when that game came out, again, everybody that played it loved it. Like, you're in the little carts, you're throwing the weapons, and you get to play as so many different characters. You play as Bowser. They brought Donkey Kong back. Play as Yoshi. Yoshi was in there. Our buddy from Super Mario World. Tracks were so much fun. They had the ramps, and they were, and they just felt like they were part of the Mario universe. They were so inspired by Bowser's Castle and Boo's haunted houses there from Mario World, and just in the Mushroom Kingdom, and they felt like they were part of Mario. It wasn't like a random racing game they just threw Mario in at the last second. It's like, no. This was an extension of all those Mario games we love playing. And we all thought it. We may not have talked about it out loud too much because we were having so much fun playing Mario Kart, but we all thought in the back of our mind, man, if they pull a Super Mario Brothers 2 on this, if they make more Mario Kart games, like, God, how much cooler could they make this now that they've proven the concept? And they did. They may have waited till another console came out, but I mean, we've got like 8.5 Mario Kart games now, because the Switch has Mario Kart Deluxe, which is the expanded director's cut version of Mario Kart 8, and I have nothing against that. Absolutely nothing against it whatsoever. It was a smart idea, because Mario Kart 8 is a brilliant game, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. I consider it half a release. It's not a full brand new game. But yeah, you've got like 8 Mario Kart games, and they just keep getting better. And then you sidestep over to Game Boy. You go portable. Mario Land 1. It feels a lot like Super Mario Brothers, but it's still its own flavor. You're rescuing Daisy instead of Princess Toadstool. Instead of a straight fireball, you have kind of a little bouncy impact ball. It's a hard game. I've never beaten it legitimately. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I got to the last boss, but by that point I only have a couple lives left, and he's hard, and I just don't have it in me to beat him. But yeah, and then Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, introduced Wario. who would go on to get his own spin-off series of games, and we've discussed Wario Land a bit. A little bit more on some of my gaming streams. But yeah, Wario Land, we're another great spin-off. Probably going to have a separate rambling video just for Wario, because I do love me some Wario. But yeah, Mario Land 2, just, again, so innovative in the stages. Like, I can't, it's so hard to describe. Like, it felt like no other Mario game before it, but it also felt very Mario. It's like they knew exactly how far to push the formula and then bring it back. You know, you got the bunny ears power up, and instead of your flying, you just had the jumping, and you could hold the button, and your little ears float you down very, very slowly, very slowly. And just, you had like the Lego building block inspired world, you had the space world, you had the underwater stuff, and you know, the spooky Halloween type world. It just is a fun game. It's a lot of fun in Mario Land 2. Go download it on Virtual Console if you've never played it, because it is worth a playthrough, definitely. A lot of people don't think about those early Game Boy games, but I mean, if you like Mario, if you like your classic Mario games, get them, because they are classic Mario games. And then, you know, I had both of those, and I played the sin out of them. But, you know, and then I played Mario 64. I didn't have it. I got a Nintendo 64 kind of later in its lifeline, after it had been out for a few years. But I never ended up going. I ended up buying one on eBay. So I didn't get one of the originals when Mario 64 was pre-packed in it. But yeah, I never bought Mario 64. So, but, you know, I played the game, and it was, you know, Mario went 3D, and again, this was at the, I've said this before in a couple places here and there in passing, but it was at the beginning of the 3D era, and it's amazing how good the game felt to play. Like, it was, you know, it was just like, dude, this works. Like, it made you believe in that we were ready for 3D gaming, because it was fun to play, and it, you know, the camera angles weren't horrendous. It's hilarious, because again, you go back, and there were games that came out 2 years after Mario 64 that did not play as well as Mario. It's like, did you guys not play this one? Like, this is how your game should play if you don't want to go 3D. It took a while for people to catch up. It took a few years for developers across the board to catch up on what Nintendo got right first shot out the gate with our buddy Mario. No, my first next really big adventures with, actually, on the GameCube with our buddy Luigi. See, I always kind of liked Luigi, because he was your kind of behind the scenes guy. He was the brother. He was the player too. But he got his chance to shine big time. Before Mario Sunshine came out, you got Luigi's Mansion. And I was right on board with that. You get the chance to be Luigi rescuing Mario, and it's all about the booze and other ghosts, the portrait ghosts. And y'all know, you long-time viewers know, you go back and watch my archives Oh, we had fun in October. Talking about how much I love the Supernatural. Mario game that's just one big haunted house. And you're not just running from the ghosts and dodging them, you are sucking them up in your super vacuum, and you're doing it as Luigi. I love that game. I still love that game. I still play that game. I still own it. I have a working GameCube still that's hooked up to my gaming TV in the other room. Not the room I record in. This is my quiet study office. Only piece of electronics is this computer I record on. Yeah. But yeah, my gaming stuff set up in the other room, and that GameCube's hooked up, and just every so often, man, I gotta throw Luigi's Mansion in. That is just, that's one of the great spin-offs. And they've made 2 sequels since then. It took a while. It was a long time between Luigi's Mansion 1 and Luigi's Mansion 2. Yeah, 2 ended up coming out on the 3DS. And I have that too, and that's a lot of fun as well. I love me some Luigi's Mansion 2. And we're going to talk about both these games. But again, it's Luigi's Mansion 1, as I said, you get to fight portrait ghosts, which are all unique. This is where they really push the boundaries on creativity and having fully fleshed out characters to oppose and beat up as like little mini bosses. You have the traditional boos, just the exploring and puzzle element to it. It's just a great game. And then, as I said, several years later, they came out with Luigi's Mansion 2, and it's even more fun. Because now you have multiple houses to clean out. Really just takes everything to the next level. It's so much more content. It's like going from Super Mario Brothers to Super Mario Brothers 3. It's like, wow. Just everything went up 2 notches. You got all these new different ghosts and different classes of ghosts with different attack schemes, and each house has a different theme to it. And it's like I love the second house with the hotel and the different floors. You got to go all the way up to the top tower and then go all the way down to the basement. And the vines are growing everywhere, and it's just a lot of fun. Some hard bosses. You really got to play them a couple times and get that strategy down. Some great puzzle elements. Great game. Again, Luigi's Mansion 2 is one of those. I pull it up and I run through that first house, definitely. Sometimes the first couple houses just for the fun of it. It's just fun to play. It's not one of those you play it once, you burn through it, and you're like, that was fun to play, but I've beaten it. I've 100%ed it. There's no reason to play this again. I'll move on to the next game. No. You play it, you beat it, put it aside, come back several months later, you're like, I really need to play that game again. To me, that is what makes a great video game. That's why I have so many fond memories of Mario and Luigi. Is anybody can make a game that's kind of cool to play through once. A lot of people do. That's the thing. A lot of games now, a lot of developers, they specialize in that. It's like, oh man, they're so awe-inspiring, but then when you beat them, you're just exhausted, and you're like, I don't care if I ever play this game again. It's like, I beat it. I don't feel like there's any reason to touch this game again. The Mario games, it may take a year, it may take 2-3 years, but those core Mario games, they're always going to come back. You're always going to pick it up again and say, let's give it one more run. Let's try this one more time. Isami Mario. And of course, now we have things like New Super Mario Brothers, because you see, Nintendo kind of split the core franchise. See, they got a little experimental with Luigi's Mansion. And they said, okay, look, Mario 64 worked, so we're kind of going to continue that same vibe, and we got Super Mario Sunshine. And that worked really well. So they started Mario Galaxy, and it's got its direct sequel, Mario Galaxy 2. Eventually, that 3D open world concept created Super Mario Odyssey, which is on the Switch, which is their current gen console. But they also were like, we don't want to completely abandon that old school fan, that old school nostalgia feel. So they created the new Super Mario series, which has been on the DS and the Wii and the Wii U. I haven't seen a new Super Mario Switch yet. They did, again, like Mario Kart 8, they did a new Super Mario Wii U Deluxe with the Luigi U DLC already pre-installed and pre-unlocked and everything. I think there might have been a couple of small changes, but yeah, I have Mario Wii. I have Mario Wii U and Luigi U. I actually, amusingly, because I am a Luigi fan, and because I didn't jump on him day one because I was playing some other Wii U games first, I actually bought Luigi U as a separate standalone disc game, played it through, and then went back and enjoyed it so much because I'd already played New Mario Wii and loved it. It's the perfect, like, it's basically 2D, but it's got the modern sharp graphics to it and a little bit of the motion controls. Like with the propeller hat, you just kind of, like, do your Wiimote like that, and your propeller. It's a lot of fun, real goofy. Works great. It's not something you're constantly doing, so the motion controls don't feel forced on you. It's just an extension of the modern wireless controller scheme. But yeah, I played that, loved it. Was getting ready to get New Super Mario U, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, there's this new Luigi U DLC." I'm like, "Oh, that's really cool." And so I saved some money up and all that, and then they were like, "Oh, the new Luigi U stuff was so well received, and we know there's a lot of people that are still, just now buying Wii U systems and stuff, so we're going to release it as its own separate game. You can just go straight into the new Luigi U stuff." So I went and did that. But I loved it so much because it did everything just right, and again, so much more than New Super Mario Wii, that I went back and got new Mario Wii U. Which seems redundant, but it's actually what they did with the Luigi U version is Luigi plays differently from Mario. They went back to that, which is the same in Mario Wii, but they threw back to New Super Mario Bros. 2, or the original Super Mario Bros. 2, where Luigi's a little bit quicker. He's kind of a floatier jumper and a little more slippery when he lands. He feels differently to play. He feels looser and a little more energetic, I guess you would say. And then but they also made the stages shorter and give you like half as much time to beat the levels. Like normal Mario game, they give you something like 200-300 seconds to beat a level. Like Luigi U, they're all like 100 seconds. Like from the get-go when you play them, it encourages you to just move. And it's just fun. It's spastic. It's like you feel that push of the clock. But because they shorten the levels a bit, it's not super challenging either. So it's really interesting to play the one version and then play the other version, because it's like, well, I can see where this, I can see where Luigi was inspired by the, Luigi U was inspired by the Mario U, but it's worth redoing this because the levels feel different. It feels like playing it on a different difficulty level, kind of. And that's just really interesting to me, and so I do play both of them. And of course, as I said, there were more Mario Kart games, and I've enjoyed them all. Mario Kart 64 cemented the idea that this could be a standalone franchise. We had Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube. Mario Kart Wii, which I skipped, because again, I was playing a lot of other games on the Wii and saving money. And then, so it just kind of I kept going, I'll get it eventually. By the time I kind of like got all the other Wii games I was excited to play, they had announced the Wii U and Mario Kart 8. They were early on. They're like, oh, we're totally doing a Mario Kart game, another Mario Kart game, and so it just became a thing. It was like, I was like, well, I know I'm going to get the Wii U because I want some of these other games they've announced for it. So I'll just wait and get Mario Kart 8 when it comes out. So, bing, bang, boom. And we had the Mario parties. I don't really consider the Smash Brothers to be Mario spin-off games. They're more of like Nintendo-wide. But those are all great games. I've played all of them. And we're definitely going to do a separate rambling video on Smash Brothers. Probably on Mario Kart too. I haven't played all Mario Karts because besides Wii, I didn't play any of the portables. Because I like my bigger screen when I play Mario Kart. I like to just be able to see everything like all around me. Portable racing games are kind of hard. Smaller screen to me doesn't work with that fast-paced, split-second thinking of racing games. So, yeah. And I mean, that's where we are. That's pretty much caught up to Mario. As I've said before in other rambling videos, I do not currently own a Switch because I've accumulated a lot of games between my 3DS, my Wii, my Wii U. I still have a couple Wii games I bought late into its family, mostly because I was able to buy them used for a good price. And I've got a pile here on PC that I don't have time. Like, it's taking me way too long to play them because I do these videos, I do my retro games on my stream, I do my writing, I work. I mean, I would love to just YouTube for a living. But this, as I've said before, this channel is not monetized. It's something I do to just connect with people and to hope people enjoy what I do, and maybe, hey, if you want to support me, buy my book. I don't know. If we really start building up fan bases and stuff here, I may one day set up like a donation center type thing. If I really get some hardcore fans who really want to help out. Maybe some merchandise or something. But that's a separate video for another time. We are here talking about the glory of our plumber buddy Mario. Of course, his brother Luigi, who has his own great sub-series of Luigi's Mansion. It's fun to play in spin-off games. Like Smash Brothers. Who's the better brother? Step on your head. Fireball, fireball. You're pixelated. I'm modern HD. Graphics! Nostalgia! Brothers got a hug. Brothers always come back together. We thank you for watching. Very much so. Come back in 7 days for the next rambling. Will probably not be about us. That's true. He has many other subjects to talk about. But one day, we will talk more about Nintendo games. And Mario stuff. So yeah. Feel free to comment about your own Mario memories, your own favorite Mario games. Maybe suggest some other game franchises that we can all reminisce on together. But be safe. Don't let stress get to you. I know these are scary, stressful times. There's a lot going on in the world we have no control over. The threats are microscopic. You can't see them coming. But enjoy life. Play a classic video game or two. Read a book you haven't read in years. Watch an old favorite movie. Binge watch a TV show. Do not spend 24/7 living in fear and stress of what's going on in the world, because you know you can practice safe hygiene. You should. But you've got to take care of your brain too. You've got to take care of your mind and your soul and your emotions. And part of that means whatever it is, books, comic books, music, movies, TV shows, video games, pro wrestling, whatever it is, whatever your hobby is, whatever your love is, disconnect everything else, focus on that for a couple hours a day. Let everything else just wash off you so your brain can rest and recharge. That's my plea. That's my wish. Because we all have to give ourselves that break. Try to give it to yourselves every day. Once a day. Just an hour at least. A couple hours if you can spare it. Give yourself a chance to just breathe. Watch these videos. They're all about an hour. A little longer, sometimes less. I've got a few that are only like 30 minutes. But, do that. I've got a lovely playlist for all the ramblings. I've got a playlist for my streams. I play some of the retro Mario games on a couple of them. Take care of yourself, because I want you back here in 7. I want you in good condition in 7. You can do that from home. That's your homework. Take care of yourself so you're back here in 7, healthy and happy and ready for some more rambling fun. That's all I ask of you.